Hello guys, Mr. Agophobia today. Today I have a armor regen build for new players really, to get the swing of the game, not die all the time, but this can be for anybody. It's a good build, good survivability, and you have above 200% crit damage with 5 blue cores. If you like my content guys, like and subscribe for future content, and let's get into it. Our first piece of gear is the mask. It is a Bellstone armory piece, which will give you 1% armor regen. The core attribute is blue. The attributes are armor regen and 12% critical hit damage, and the mod is 11.6% critical hit damage. Our holster is the Picaro's holster, the named Brazos piece. It gives you 10% skill haste. It's a blue core, 12% critical hit damage, and 15% weapon damage. So you get a blue core and a red core with this piece of gear. Our third piece of gear is a Grupo piece, 15% critical hit damage. The gloves, 15% weapon damage, 12% critical hit damage, and armor regen again. Our knee pads are golden gear, and we have two pieces of this, 10% stats effects, and the second piece gives us 1% armor regen. The core attribute is a blue, and the attributes are 12% critical hit damage and 6% critical hit chance. Our second piece of golden is the chest piece. The core attribute is a blue, the attributes are armor regen, 12% critical hit damage, and 12% critical hit damage mod. And we have intimidate. While you have bonus armor, gain 1 stack each second up to max of 7. Each stack increases weapon damage by 5% to enemies within 10 meters. All stacks are lost when you have no bonus armor, which will always have loads of bonus armor anyway guys. Do remember that you can get the perfect version of intimidate, but you have to kill all the hunters in New York, which I have not done yet, but you'll get more weapon damage if you get that. Our final piece of gear is the Memento exotic backpack. The core attributes are a red core, a blue core, and a skill tier, and the attributes is 11.7% critical hit damage mod. And the talent, if you don't have this backpack yet, is kill confirmed enemies you kill drop a trophy on death. Collecting trophies provides both a short and long term buff, the first of which scales with the number of core attributes equipped and lasts 10 seconds. Red cores 5% weapon damage, blue cores 10% bonus armor, and skill tiers 5% skill efficiency. For every trophy collected, gain an additional 1% weapon damage, 1% skill efficiency, and 0.1% armor regeneration for 300 seconds. Maximum 30 stacks, so you'll get 3% armor regen. When you get 30 stacks, then you'll have another one from the Bellstone and the golden, so you'll have 5% armor regen. And when you pick up a trophy, you'll get a 50% bonus armor, which is pretty good guy for 10 seconds. Our primary weapon we're using is the Chameleon exotic assault rifle. The core attributes are 15% assault rifle damage, 21% health damage, and 9.5% critical hit chance. And the talent is adaptive instincts. Hitting 30 headshots grants 20% critical hit chance, which will put us at the cap because we're at 40% without that buff. So when we get 30 headshots, we get 20% critical hit chance, then we'll be 60% and 50% critical hit damage for 45 seconds. We're at 155 before we get that buff guys, so when we get that buff we'll be at 200%. Hitting 75 body shots grants 90% weapon damage for 45 seconds, which is a ridiculous amount of weapon damage in my opinion. Hitting 30 leg shots grants 150% reload speed for 45 seconds, so that is really good as well. Buffs refresh when out of combat, which is a good thing as well. Those are the mods you get with it. Our secondary is the Mop shotgun. Core attributes 14.4% shotgun damage, 10% damage to armor, and 10% armor on kill. And the talent is killing an enemy repairs 10% armor over 5 seconds. Headshots killed improve the repair by an additional 10%, so 20% if we get a headshot. And those are the mods. And the sidearm I'm using is the double barrel sawn-off. Core attributes are 15% shotgun damage, 12% damage to armor, 10% damage to targets out of cover, and the talent is preservation. Killing the enemy repairs 10% armor over 5 seconds, headshots another 10%, so 20%. But that's the sidearm. The first skill we're using is the Striker Ballistic Shield. It will be tier 6 because we have 5 blue cores and we have a skill tier from the Memento backpack. So we'll have a tanky shield. Those are the mods that I'm using. Our second skill is the Decoy, which will have 1 skill tier because we get it from the Memento backpack. Those are the mods that I have. This is the overall build, guys. It's a good build, and I'll show you the stats now. Right, our crit chance is 40% default, but when you get the 30 headshots, you'll get 20% crit hit chance from the exotic. So you'll be max crit hit chance then, 60%. And before we get the buffs, we're at 155, we'll be at 200% crit hit damage. So that's pretty good. Now I'll scroll down the rest for you. Specialization we're using is the firewall. We're using the firewall for the striker shield, so we get extra damage. We've got the ridiculously overpowered medkit that you get, and obviously we get extra damage, 15% assault rifle damage, shotgun damage, and sidearm damage. But I like this build, guys. Personally, I've been using it the last few days, and it keeps me alive. It's good. It's got loads of armor regen, and when you get that buff from the chameleon, you have loads of damage as well because of the exotic memento, intimidate, and that talent all combining. You get a lot of damage. So give it a go, guys, and like and subscribe if you want future Division content. I'll do Heartlands and stuff in the future. But have a great day.